Right, hello. And my Ford Escort again. This is a video of my sound. Wonderful sound gear. Playing in action. Example, Last One Standing, TC remix. You can hear it running quite well now. Right, it's on the Kenwood, the Kenny, the one with the K-Bus, CD text enabled, Last One Standing, TC remix. There you go, example. You're actually not listening to a CD, you're listening to a CD changer, which is that bugger up there. It's Kenwood, KDCC 712, support CD text, anti-vibration, and it's got a disc name preset. So if you put a disc in with no CD text, you can apparently map a name to it and that will store it in its firmware. The beauty of such a system is you know what disc it is. It's running on a K-Bus. There's the K-Bus cable. Goes down under my seat somewhere and fucking pops up round the back. So press the source button. Auxiliary, that's the front end there. That's this little one here. Press it again. Standby. I don't want to call it standby really, because I think it's not in fucking standby at all. It's still on. It just turns the sound off. It would have been better off if they left that on. Okay, but shut all the lights off. Would have been better. Press it again. There's the tuner. The radio.
At the end of the programme today,
there's a bunch of old farts, and this is BBC Radio Silent. Yes.
You have
USB. No device. You plug that in there, and it'll either say USB iPod if it's detected a controllable iPod, or it'll say USB and then give you the MP3 tree for either MP3, WMA, or AAC. Press it again. We've got the CD. Should be a Transnation disc in there. It'll read it and play it. That's what a disc looks like normally. It says CD track 1 006 counting up. If you've got a CD from a CD changer, instead of CD it will say D01, meaning disc 1, then track 1, and then the counting time. Okay, you only see this if you do not have CD text. Okay, and you can toggle the display between track title, P time, which is what we got it on now, clock, disc title. I leave it on track title, personally. I know what track I'm listening to then, yeah? Press source again, CD changer. There you go. Disc 10, track 3, Last One Standing. Okay. So we can change the volume. Press the button in, subwoofer level, I'm on plus 13. User preset, bass, haven't put it up, nor the mid, nor the treb. Well, plus 2, because basically my speakers are shit, I'm going to change them. Balance, fader, and that's it. Press and hold the button in. High pass filter through, because my amp's doing all the high pass stuff. Low pass filter subwoofer set to 60 Hz. That's for the subs. Phase normal. If your speakers are wired incorrectly or they've got funny connectors, you can reverse the polarity. This is especially useful if your built-in speakers have strange polarity. For example, you've got OEM speakers that are fairly decent, like say on a Vauxhall Vectra, yeah? You can't really change them, and they're built in, but they're bloody good. Their polarity is the wrong way round, so that when you plug it into this head unit, it'll sound flat, very flat. The phase normal will help you combat that. Voltage offset, or volume offset, basically means you can offset the volume level by a bit. This is extremely useful if you're finding that even though your amp's set correctly, you're getting a bit of distortion. You can offset the volume down a bit to compensate, which is very good. Loudness on, who doesn't have that off? Basically, it ups the frequencies and the bass and the treble at the source level, so it's like a preamp in a way. Okay, 2-zone off, switch 2-zone on, and the rear speakers will convert into a second source, so the auxiliary jack will play out through the rear speakers. This is extremely useful if you have kids. You plug the DVD player into the front socket, Bob's your uncle. Rear speakers kick in, and away you go. If you were to fit an amp to the rear speakers, that would allow for, say, a headphone socket. Oh, you're made, aren't you? We're back to the high pass filter, okay? Auxiliary, we go, turn up unit, CD changer. Yeah, we go. Okay. I won't take the magazine out because it has to recheck the magazine. It's there. There's a little switch there, or 2 switches in fact. One says eject, which ejects that 10-disc magazine. You've got another switch there that says O and N. Basically, O and N, I think it might, I don't know what it stands for, but I'm going to interpret it as original and new. If you switch it to original mode, O, it powers the old school head units, because they had literally just CD changer sockets. K-bus wasn't really around then. It literally was just a CD changer socket, nothing else. N for new means that units like this have K-bus, so pins have to be the other way around. If I put it to O mode and plug it in, the unit thinks external auxiliary is plugged in, but it's not. K-bus basically is very clever. You can plug either a CD changer in it, a Bluetooth module in it, an iPod lead into it, a DAB tuner on some units, a CD changer splitter, CD changers, mini disc changers, oh the bloody caboodle. There is an adapter you can buy that you plug into it. It's a little lead, but about big, and it has 2 RCAs on it, and it converts that socket also into a second auxiliary input via RCA. This is extremely good if you want to power a second head unit or an audio tank or a computer or something. You can do that. Likewise, you get that connector if you buy the CD changer splitter. The CD changer splitter has that on board by default, as well as the capability of powering 2 devices. That includes a mixture of Bluetooth/changer and mini disc changer. Oh, fucking hell, the possibilities are endless, guys, I tell you that now. But the beauty of having that feature is I could technically mash that hole out and fit another CD player in there if I wanted to, and use its pre-outs to go into that. That way, I've got 2 radios, haven't I? It's these little things that Kenwood think of. It's why I go for Kenwood. But having said that, Sony are just as good. Well, in fact, they could be better in many aspects. Pioneer's very good, as we all know. We know that Alpine make one of the best head unit systems around, but I'm happy with the Kenwood. Should have cost 150. Got it for 40 quid at the boot sale. One thing I did forget, I still haven't bought one yet, but here, next to that red lamp, there's a little circular thing there. You see it? It's this thing here, where my finger is. It's that thing there. It's an infrared port. It means you can buy a remote, and the remote will actually go ahead and blast away and allow you to change the track remotely. Very, very good. This one, unlike many stereos, has a slightly longer character display. 13 characters, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, yeah, 13 character versus 8. So you've got 5 extra characters to display, which means you can display more track name data. It's one of the things I do love about this. But the only fiddly thing is, and I will say it's fiddly, is that little joystick. Okay, it goes up, down, left, right, in, and twists. Twist it for volume, push it in for music features, but you can nudge it left and right to change tracks, you can nudge it up and down to change disc. Inevitably, it's so sensitive that when I do change track, or when I do try to access that audio menu, I inevitably knock it forward to change track, and it drives me absolutely potty. one of the reasons why I wanted to get rid of it. But having tried it all again today, I realise now I'm keeping it now, so I have to get Ben to take my listing off of FEC because I'm no longer putting it for sale. But she's loud. When you crank it up, I hope my neighbour over there isn't going to complain. Cracking stereo, isn't it? Going to the menu briefly. Oh, that's actually turned it off. What a dick. Turn it off. You press and hold source, by the way. Code off. Yes, don't think about stealing my stereo. I cannot be fucked with set of code. I don't want to have to keep trying to put it in every time I disconnect the bloody battery. Display on. That turns the display on and off. Tried it doesn't really do anything. I think it's actually meant to knock the whole display out, but it doesn't really work for me. Demo mode off, that's like shop mode. Scroll auto, if you leave that auto every now and again it scrolls the title. ATPS, alternative programming system, very clever. Tries to find nearest station, that kind of. Regional, finds regional variant of your station in the database. That's like useful for Radio 1. It will flip on the fly. It's like your sound will go, your sound will just drop suddenly, then come back in. It's actually swap frequency. Alternative frequency on again. Alternative frequency. And news. I've turned that off. But like the traffic announcement, it tries to give you the news. Shit about the government. Camera gonna suck my dick. Back to the display on again. There is more settings, but you can only access them in various different menus. I'll put this into standby. An extra set of settings will appear only in standby. See, security set, demo mode off. CD read 1. If we got a disc that doesn't like reading, you set it read 2. Power off in 20 minutes. Yeah, it's weird that it doesn't really work with this car. Auxiliary on 1. Different types of auxiliaries. Scroll auto. The pre-outs, you can change it from subwoofer to line, which is extremely useful. Dot line on, that turns the little dot line on and off. I don't suppose you can see that little red line there, see? Yeah, it does that. Dimmer, auto. The dimmer is when you turn your lights on, it dims the display. Display on, sync on. There you go. Okay. Great, eh? And that, as they say, is that. Cheap, clever radios. Can't beat it, Kenny. You really can't beat it, Kenny. This, if you plug the Bluetooth module in on this unit via K-Bus, it can actually read your phone signal strength. You can browse the phone book on it, and then you can place a call using the radio, and the phone will output the voice off its own. Will output the voice and the audio to the head unit, and you use a separate microphone Kenwood give you to do hands-free calling. It's very clever, and if the phone rings it cuts the stereo up. Fucking brilliant. I've seen it before, it's wonderful. It's crackers. Second iPod, you can do it on here. That is extremely useful if you have an iPod that you've tanked to the brim with music and you plan on no longer really using it. You can shove it in your glove box or something and have it connected permanently to the back. Wonderful feature. Second aux in, mini disc in. There's a mini disc changer. We don't use mini discs these days, but if you still want to use them, there is one. CD changer. Yeah, CD changers. Wonderful CD changers. Kenwood did make a set of slave units. Did you know? They look like head units like that, standard din size, and there's 3 of them. One's an equaliser, okay, that has a graphic equaliser on the display. Second one is a CD player, again with a graphic equaliser on the display. That plugs in via the K-bus and shows up as another CD slot. And there's a third one, which is a mini disc, that also has a graphic equaliser, but has a little reader on there to show you the track. Strange thing is, if you have that connected, it will display the track on there, say, if you had it here, but also display it there. If you ever see those units, it might be worth putting both together inside a double din unit, because the graphic equaliser looks well cool, but they're very rare and hard to come by, but yeah, they do exist. Older Kenwood amps used to have the ability of remote control, as in they used to be able to remotely control the amp's volume levels. Kenwood have debunked that now, and this unit cannot do that. So if you have one of those amps, just won't be able to control it remotely. Okay, that's enough from me. Catch you all later. Thank you and good night. Where custard and the whole effect is concerned, yeah. Lots of shenanigans going on there. Well, this is my car. Yeah, nuts, isn't it? I want to get more work done to this bloody thing. Spoiler put on it and everything. But, yeah, it's starting to steam up a bit in here. And the seals are broken. Oh, bloody hell. Oh, you can see my dials in daylight today. 77239. Wonderful. She's done 77. Fuck me. Yeah. Wonderful, ain't it? My box of sushi. I love sushi. I had sushi the other day. Does any of you lot like sushi? No? Sushi? You're thinking, raw fish. Yeah, wonderful stuff. There's my gear stick. Ford Focus. Badminton rackets. Jaffa cakes. Oh, you can't beat Jaffa cakes. Anyway, thank you, good night.